Happy Friday! It's weekend wind down with me, Nancy Ganzer-Crawford, business coach to creative entrepreneurs. As you guys all come on, I always share the wine, which I'm drinking the same wine, not the same bottle, but the same wine as last week. I am drinking my Kendall Jackson Vinters Reserve Chardonnay. I think I'm a little stuck on the Kendall Jackson Chardonnay lately, so I'm going to have to try some new things. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Joe. Hi, Gail. Let me just say hi to a couple people, and then I have two guests for you today. Hi, Kaden. Hi, Shamika. And Marina Umali is going to come on today, along with, hi, Di and Amy, along with Kay Whitaker. Oh, nope, Kay, you can't come on yet. You're going after Marina. So let me see if I can get Marina in first. Hold on, guys. Hi, Kay. I see you're here. We're going to bring on Marina first because she has to go pick up her daughter. So, Marina, why don't you see if you can, let me see. There we go. We're opting in. Let's in. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Mandy. Hi, John. You getting ready for your happy hour? Let's see if, hi, Eileen. Eileen's going to be my guest one week. You're here. Yay, it worked.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Can you hear me okay, or should I put on the...
No, I can hear you okay. Hi, Mark.
Okay.
So, hi, Leanne. I'm just saying hi to everyone. Are you having wine with me tonight, or you're going?
Who,
Yeah.
me? Tea.
Okay, tea is good. I know you have to pick up your daughter later.
Two daughters.
Two daughters. Okay, so I know we wanted. Thank you, Mark. I love my glasses too. These are from a site online called peepers.com. Literally peepers.com. All kinds of funky reading glasses, and even
they're fun.
They're fun, right? They're red on the inside. But you can get sunglasses that have readers in them and all kinds. My sister turned me on to them. Hi, Darcy. So, Marina, I'm excited to have you on today. I know we met the other night at Luann Nagara's.
Thanks for inviting me.
What?
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. We had so much fun the other night at Luann's second birthday party of her podcast, and it was so great to meet you in person. I know we've chatted online and seen each other in mutual groups. I think you're in my group, Actionable Entrepreneurs, and a bunch of other groups for interior designers. So, Darcy's on. You met her the other night too.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about you and your business, what's working for you, what may not be working for you. But I was so interested in this whole feng shui thing because, as I messaged you before, I actually have a story about this.
I would love to hear it. You got me intrigued.
So I guess it was around 8 years ago when I was at the IDS National Conference, the Interior Design Society. I think I was president of the Long Island chapter at that time, and now I'm a national board member and president of the virtual chapter. But they had a presentation on feng shui. And I sat in the front row because I really didn't even know what it was about. And literally everything she said that you shouldn't have, or the flow of your house, I literally took so many notes. I had everything wrong. And I'll go as far as I love all my art. I was an art consultant. All my art is of single women. In the back right of my bedroom were shoes and suitcases. I had pictures of my children in the bedroom. I had no plants because I'm lucky that I keep my children alive, let alone plants. I kill everything, right? And I don't know, what else did she say? Oh, I never came in and out my front door. I always went in and out of the attached garage. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally raised my hand at one point and I said, I do everything wrong. I think the way my office at the time was facing was wrong too. And it's terrible to say, but 3 years later, I was divorced. And sometimes
that's part of it, but sometimes, I mean, if anybody has the same situation, it doesn't really mean that,
Okay,
in
good.
all cases, because other things affect that as well. So,
Definitely.
it's not guaranteed. But yeah, you saw the signs. You were able, it was nice because that lecture allowed you to see all the possible signs, but you didn't really so you didn't do any changes after that
I
lecture?
don't really remember. I don't think I did. I think I didn't do,
Or was too late already,
exactly. I think
right?
it was too late. So tell us about your business. Tell people where they can find you. We'll go into a little bit about
Mhm.
your business, then we'll tell them again at the end.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a feng shui practitioner and interior designer in the New York, New Jersey area. I see clients in the tri-state area and virtually
Oh,
also.
that's good.
Yeah, I've done feng shui consultations virtually, with the Skype, with the iPads, walkthroughs, floor plans. It's all very doable. Of course, in person is better. If somebody is nearby, I will drive to them. But if somebody's in another state, it's definitely very doable to have a consultation virtually. Yeah.
So your website is?
Yeah, marinavdesignstudio.com.
Yeah,
And I'll add it in the comments, afterwards.
definitely. And I hope my son's on sharing on all my business page and in my group, Actionable Entrepreneurs. Let me just say hi
Mm-hmm.
to Heather and Chloe. And I
Hey,
saw a
Heather.
couple of people. Carrie came on. Oh, hi, Christine and Elizabeth. We got a full house today. And Donna Marie and Memtaz. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but welcome everyone. This is Weekend Wind Down with Nancy Ganzikofer. That's me. I'm a business coach to creative entrepreneurs. So, okay, Marina, give us some feng shui tips that are maybe easy to do. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know it's
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
complicated, right?
It goes, I guess there's different levels. It goes from easy to complicated. So I think one of the things that you mentioned is actually one of the tips that I wanted to give everybody, but you already pointed it out, so I'll refer to it about the front door. Since your group is really geared for business people, entrepreneurs, it's all about bringing business in, about being able to clients finding us. So it's really all about the front door, the entrance of your home, the entrance of your apartment, or your office. So make sure your front door is visible or easily, it's easy to find. Because you'll see, I'm sure if you drive around, there are houses that are hidden. There's bushes already overtaking the whole home, and you
Yes.
can see it's deteriorating. So obviously you could tell right away, like when I'm driving around, it's awesome and not awesome at the same time because I'm constantly analyzing.
I could see.
I'll be driving, I'm like, oh my God, their career is going, down, or, I'll be at somebody's house, I'll see something, I'm like, oh wow, that's happening in their life, because you can really see different symbolism everywhere, right? So make sure your front entrance is easily, they can find it very easy. So make sure it's visible and inviting, so it's kind of not
I
dull.
have a question about that, though. I'm
Yeah.
set back 100 feet from the houses to my right and left. So people do have trouble finding my house. But once they find the driveway, they can see the front door like it's clean. Does it?
Yeah, but I would recommend you do something by the side of the road or wherever they enter the driveway. Do you have like the number of the house
No,
outside?
right now I have a for sale sign because I'm
Okay.
selling my house. But no, we did actually at one point. We had the number right on the lawn. But,
Mhm.
teenagers, it's a pretty busy road, and teenagers,
Right.
kind of.
So I would even recommend it for selling the house. Even if you have the for sale sign or whatever sign you have, put that house number there.
Okay.
Even if you're planning to move, because it really will invite the chi, the energy, the people into your home. And if you're saying they can't find it easily, that means they can't find it to even buy it. So if somebody is passing by or somebody's heading over to your house to see it, and they can't find it, or they can't find it like right away, they might change their mind. That little few seconds, makes them stop and think, okay, there's something about it that will make them stop and rethink it. And you don't want them to pass by. You want them to head on straight
And
in.
that goes for the
I would
flow of
definitely,
money too, when you're just living there and your house isn't for sale.
yeah. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't have a house number outside, and being an interior designer and feng shui practitioner, we're constantly going into people's homes. Of course, there are many times I go into people's homes, just like realtors visit, right? there's no number sign outside. There's no house
I
number.
know, it's so frustrating.
And yeah, so I guess that's like another tip. There we go. Definitely make sure you have your house number visible. And if it is there, but you don't have lighting in front of your house, put lighting, because even if it's there, but it's not seen in the evening, it's again kind of stopping people from finding you.
Okay, good tip. And then once we come in, and you're supposed to go in and out your front door as much as
That
possible,
is
or no?
that is recommended, and I know sometimes, and a lot of people use garages. But again, if you are struggling with your career, especially, I mean, if you're doing great, just keep on using whatever
Right.
door
If it
you're
ain't broken,
using. Like
don't fix
honestly,
it.
yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, I'm kind of all for that. But you know, be mindful of it. Use it once in a while. I mean, like, make sure it opens. You know? But but definitely, I would recommend like the front door, the one that the architect meant for it to be the front door. You know, just because if it's not really opening up into your end, you know, their main house, the main door, it's not finding you again. You're not using it to bring in that energy into your
Into
home.
the
So definitely
positive
use your
energy.
front door.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can use it every now and then too, but if you're only using the garage door, side door, I would definitely recommend using the front door.
Okay, that was tip number
That's
one.
a big.
How about,
That's three.
actually, that was three. What about inside the house?
Well, I wanted to say one more actually,
Okay.
since we're still kind of outside. Make sure your doorbell works.
Oh, my doorbell
I feel like
doesn't
I'm
work.
still stuck on the, yeah, I have more to say about the,
Okay, go ahead.
um,
Tell us.
yeah, and make sure you have a doorbell. Believe it or not, I went to see a client a few months ago. There was no doorbell. I came up to, it was an apartment building in, was it Jersey City or Hoboken? I can't remember. But I came up and I couldn't ring.
Oh.
It just wasn't there. And I'm looking around and had to knock. Of course, there's other ways, but still, it's not the same. And it's again about the same thing. So if people are struggling with their career, yeah, I would just get that doorbell. Or if it's broken, I've been to homes, and I'm sure you've been to homes when the doorbell's kind of like you don't even want to touch it, or it doesn't even work. It just looks like somebody took a hammer and, like, you know.
I am cracking up because someone rang my doorbell the other day and it doesn't work, but I didn't know it didn't work. It's been working. Elizabeth just asked, wait, what'd you say? Wait, I walked out for a minute. You said using the front door will improve your business?
Yes, definitely. It will.
And Amanda too. I need to use my front door. I know. See, that's what I was doing, Amanda. I was always going out my garage door because that's my car is parked in the garage. But now, once in a while, I will go out the front door and open up the garage door with the keypad, which I don't know. It just makes me feel better.
It's basically, yeah, it's basically like inviting opportunities in, and you can actually have that, you know, think of it, like have the intention. So if you're exiting, entering, just think about it, like opportunities coming to you, kind of like, you know, open the door and like, come on in, you know, like just invite them. It's as crazy as that sounds, just like having that intention will help.
That's incredible.
And I would love to hear, yeah, and I would love to hear from all those guys who are not using the front door. If they start using it, I would love to hear if anything has changed. I would love to hear back from them in a little, you know, weeks, months, whatever.
Absolutely. I tagged you in this broadcast too, so they can connect with you on Facebook. But maybe we'll have you on in a couple of weeks again and find out. But I really do make an effort to use the front door more ever since that time. And business is great. So I guess it's working, but what is feng shui? It's like the flow of energy through your space.
It is all about the energy, but how do I explain it simply? That's like the hardest part, to explain it in like a sentence, but it's really about changing our environment to improve our lives, to change our lives. I think that's probably. Yeah.
Okay. So what else can we do to help our lives? It doesn't always have to be about business on my show. It's really all about improving lives and business. Yeah, Kay's even selling shoes. My next guest, I'm definitely open to trying it. Let's just all open our front doors.
Yeah, let's do it.
Does that go for windows too?
I feel like we're definitely connecting here. Yeah. I was like, somehow I just started thinking about windows since it's raining nonstop. Opening windows too. I mean, a lot of it is very common sense, getting that fresh air in, whether it's plants or windows, just getting that fresh energy in, because it gets stuck, right? So there are people who never open up their windows. I'm sure it's going to be like tons of comments now. But definitely, I mean, in the winter, we open them less. but just try to open them as much as you can. Just getting that fresh air in, fresh energy in, and getting that bad kind of stinky energy out. That's really what it's about.
Do you practice everything as best you can in your own home? Because, like when I was an art consultant, I didn't have any art for years. Do you actually practice this actively in your own home?
I do, but not as actively as I would like to because I'm too busy doing it for everyone else. Yeah, I mean but it's the thing is about it is what I said on Kim's. We did the design check.
Yes, I
Kim.
still have not
Yeah.
watched it, but I'm going back to watch it.
Okay, there's a quote that I read to her viewers that I loved. Something about the dance, right? The constant dance. That's what feng shui is. You're just constantly moving things, constantly changing things. So that's really just to keep that going. So change is good. So I guess I'm not done with my home. I guess none of us are done, right? We have to keep on improving.
I got to go rearrange things now. John's asking, wait, there's somebody else before you, John, that said something. Hi, PJ. Yeah.
Oh, John. I see John's. We need like a 5-hour live for that.
I was going to say, I don't even know what that is. I've never even heard of that.
Okay. We'll have to kind of, set up a meeting, a longer meeting.
So John has a happy hour after me for tile. Oh my God, John, you're going to kill me. I can't remember. Type in where you're from. Tile Bar in Manhattan. And so he does his happy hour at 5:30 to 6:30. So the people who watch both are totally drunk by the end of the two broadcasts. But John.
All right, John, send me some babysitters and then we'll we'll talk about the book.
Well, like you said, though, you also do virtual consultations. So
yeah.
John could really contact you and you could do a virtual consultation with him.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure. Talbar, actually, I know it's in the city, in New York City. So if he is there, he should be close. But I will try to explain the Bagua in, I guess, a minute here.
Okay.
It's an energy map of our home. It's split up into 9 squares, so 9 guas. So the Bagua map is basically just if you imagine like a tic-tac-toe.
Okay.
Right? And each part represents a different aspect of our lives. So one is the career area. One is love, relationships, wealth. It just goes, there's health. There are 9 areas of our lives. So when you overlay it over our home or an office, or you can even do a desk, you can troubleshoot basically. You can see what part needs work, or if you have trouble in that area, you go specifically to that area and you can work on that.
Okay.
John, let me know if that makes sense.
I have seen that chart, but you have to really be a specialist and trained like you are to lay it over the house properly and then I guess see where things lie. Does it apply to each room separately or is it?
You can.
Okay.
So it goes, you can overlay your property. Let's say like you're in a house, right? I assume in Long Island. So you can overlay it over your property. That's what I would do for you. And then your home. And then you can do each room individually also.
Okay.
So it kind of gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend, consulting somebody because the problem is it's, you might do it wrong.
I'm sure I will.
You might read it wrong and kind of maybe panic about something that's wrong. You think is wrong, but it's not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I would just. Yeah.
What made you get into this? I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. I was fascinated by it for a long time. And then I just really wanted to learn more about it. Again, I was reading books. I was trying to figure this thing out by myself. And until you have that one-on-one with the instructor, it really made it all really clear to me. And I went to study it for personal reasons, just because I was curious. And I don't know, I was really attracted to it. And then I just fell in love with it and I really saw it working. I really saw how it made so much sense. And then I just started consulting and people were calling me to do the feng shui consultations. And I saw results that clients were having and then more people were calling me. And, only afterwards it started being like a little more natural to me. And I started really incorporating it into my interior design because I couldn't do it any other way at this point because I kind of saw which area is, represented in the house. So.
What kind of results do your clients get? Any stories about like big changes you feel like after you've, is it the proper English to say I've feng shuied their home?
Sure, we can. I mean, people do it all the time, right? So, yeah, yeah, we do it all the time. Yeah, definitely. I've had people who, but again, it's not like the feng shui consultation only. Those people do the work, just like your coaching, right? You can tell them what to do.
Right.
So basically, that's what I tell them to do, right? Like I give them my recommendations, and it's up to them to do the work. So, people take my list of suggestions, my long list of report, and then they go do the actions. So it's not just me doing it for them, they're doing it themselves. So I've seen people looking for partners and then finding, their partner. I've seen people, do amazing things, but again, they put the effort in it. So it's kind of it helps you do what you want to do, but it's not like a magic cure.
No, I don't think anything's a magic cure. Like you
Yeah.
said, you have to. So you are giving them tips on how to flow the energy properly through their space to improve their lives, improve their business, but they actually have to keep it up. Like, what about the plant thing? Like she said, do you have any live plants in your house? I'm like, no.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's just all about just green design, right? It's just having that nature in our homes, right? Because we're all lacking it. So it's just, and there are a multitude of reports, studies about how good plants are for us in terms of just the air we breathe, just our health. So, yeah.
All right, everybody
They're,
weigh in. Who has plants in their home? Do flowers count? I guess so.
sure. But live plants, people.
You mean the whole showroom of silk flowers that I have is not going to do it?
Yes, and I've been to homes when like there are dried plants everywhere, and those do not count, guys.
It's got to be
You
something you
know,
water, take care of, and it emits
yeah, it has to be alive.
to be alive. Okay, Elizabeth has plants at least. Yeah, I had none. Um, oh,
And again, it's okay if some people don't. I mean, if it's not their thing, like it's okay.
well,
But
isn't it worse to have it and then have it die because you didn't take care of it properly? That's what I worry about. No, I really wasn't good at taking care of plants. I'm good at animals and children, but after with plants, I wasn't.
yeah,
My sister Vivian's on from Seattle. She does a tiny basil plant count.
sure, of course. I love that. I love getting the basil plants, and but then again, yeah, I have trouble keeping them alive also.
Yeah, I mean, the herbs are supposed to be pretty easy, right? But
For some, I mean, not everybody has the green thumb. I see like a thumbs up there, but
oh, I know Mary does. Mary loves to garden. Um,
that's great.
okay, Chloe is actually what'd you say? Biophilic design? Do you?
Yes, Chloe. I know who. I don't see her here, but I think I know who that is, and I guess she's tuning in. I think she's in the UK.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
she's didn't you just come out, Chloe, with vegan design? She's like a vegan?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, because we did the vegan certificate, and I know just in some groups she's tagged me, and I've tagged her because people have been asking about vegan design. So I told her if it's like nighttime here or early morning, she gets the to answer first if she gets to them first.
Oh, I just thought a great business idea for you two. You should both be administrators of a Facebook group where you can give worldwide, you can give tips on what you specialize in, and you're going to attract a lot of the same kind of people, right? But
Yeah.
from different places. So I love the
Yeah.
fact, if you've listened to one of my 3 episodes on Luann's podcast, A Well-Designed Business, I do that. I believe that, niche is rich and broad is broke. So I think it is incredible that you have this niche. And do you find it's not that it's easier to market yourself, but there's a distinct message that makes it easier for you to get across to people what
Hmm.
you do?
Hmm. Um, if it's easier than not having it, I don't know. It depends. I think it just so many other things affect that. It's a good question, but yeah,
Because I think you can
there's
teach people such incredible, unique things and prove to them
hmm
how it can work over time. And that
yeah,
messaging is going to attract your ideal client if you put it out there on a regular basis.
yeah, and it definitely attracts a certain. There are certain people who are attracted to it, and some people are completely they just don't want to hear about it at all. So it definitely attracts those people who already have that interest, who already kind of started researching themselves, like what is that?
Hmm.
And people who do come to me, they've already read the books, they already kind of tried tried it out themselves.
Yes, because
So those seem to be, yeah.
people don't hire you for information, they hire you for implementation, right?
Yeah, definitely. I find that especially with the feng shui consultations, I mean, the interior design stuff, I guess that's a little different. But with feng shui, is people who do come to me, it's not beginners, I guess, let's say. It's people who are already very interested in it and they're read enough about it, but they do need to figure out how to implement it because they get a little confused along the way.
I think it's a great way for you to attract people to you. Do you put it out on a regular basis? I'm on Facebook like everyone else, but I have trouble keeping track of everybody. Do you market that often?
See, I am a very bad salesperson.
Oh, no. It's not even sales as much as just talking about it on a regular basis. Whatever you do, if you just put out little tips and do little Facebook Lives, and do you have an email list?
Yeah, I just recently started, and I started a blog just a few months ago. So I just recently started to do that.
Excellent.
So if anybody wants to have a monthly newsletter that lets you know that the blog is up and a little bit about the update, what happened in the last month or so. So I send out one newsletter a month at this point and one blog post a month. So you guys can go on my website and sign up. Right. If you sign up, you get like a little cheat sheet of 9 things.
I know. I see that. Feng Shui tips for success. 9 tips to help you bring more feng shui to your home. I'm going to download it. Well, you know what? Even for my new home.
Very simple. Yeah. It's a very simple sheet of 9 tips, just very straightforward, just letting you know. It's kind of a start, right? Yes. And then it will open up your eyes. You guys will know what to do once you read that.
Well, if I can give you any business advice, which you've already started with your blogging, is just share on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, that's actually my weak point. Yeah, I'm kind of not, it'll come out, I'll email it to my, newsletter subscribers, or I'll post it once, here you go, and then that's it.
You have such an interesting niche that, and I know you do full interior design as well and feng shui consults, but this is your way in the door. Just like a window treatment person or a color consult, that's their way in the door, even though they can do so much more. If you start doing blog exchanges, do Facebook Lives with Chloe, and just start to find people in that niche and just share on a regular basis, you're going to attract a lot of people to you, because this is so interesting to so many people. So you have a lot to teach.
Yeah, a lot of people are interested. Yeah. I just always feel that I guess I'm one of those people who don't want to bother people and bombard them with so I just kind of just say, hey, here's the blog post, enjoy, and that's about it.
You know what? If they're bothered by it, they'll unsubscribe, or and those will never be your clients anyway. Like I do know how many people may unsubscribe when I send an email. I don't look to see who they are. I don't think I could even see it anyway. And I don't let it bother me, because they were never going to be the people who hired me anyway. So it's kind of like, put the information out there on a regular basis. People have to have connection with you 7 to 15 times before they go, Right. Yeah. They have to have a lot of exposure. So it's not sales, it's just sharing. And you have so much information to share. So get yourself out there. Blog exchanges. If you like to write, do some blog exchanges with different people in your industry. So I know you have to pick up your 2 daughters now.
Thanks for the idea.
Thank you so much.
Get that front door, get that house number up there. And
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to download your tips. Tell them again where to find you.
Yeah, marinavdesignstudio.com. And all my social media is on the bottom of my website. And a little later on, I'll write in the comment my site for everyone.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday. I hope.
You're welcome. You too.
I appreciate you coming on right before you have to go pick up your kids. Right. Cheers.
No problem. I'll catch up with you guys later. I'll watch the rest.
Okay. Thank you. Bye, Marina. Bye. You guys stay tuned, because I'm bringing on Kay Whitaker next. Her and I did a webinar yesterday specifically for coaches, but we shared so much. She's I want to make sure I get your digital marketing strategist. I'm going to bring her on now. And we talked so much about tips to get yourself out there that doesn't really cost you a lot of money. And here she is. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I saw you on Instagram Live. I thought, I hope she remembers about my Facebook Live show.
No, I remembered. I was killing time.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like it was a little bit of an issue today with school, but I lived through that. It's not easy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely not easy. So tell everyone who you are and what you do. For those who didn't catch our webinar yesterday, if you want to watch it, it's posted on my business page, and you also posted it.
Yep, it's on my business page.
Okay, so your name on your personal page is different from your business name, your first name. So tell everyone who you are.
So legally, I am Shakira Whitaker, but my business is K Whitaker Media Group. So we use K Whitaker to drive the business because it's just easier to go by K, because when you see the name of the business, everybody says K. So I answer. It makes it easy. So we've branded it and we use it and it works. I'm a digital marketing coach. So I help creative entrepreneurs establish themselves online and help to create systems that generate revenue from their activities online. You can find us at kwhitaker.com, and it's KAEWHITAKER.com. And I'm across Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
You are everywhere. And you can post a link when we're done. You can definitely post a link. Is everyone sharing? You want to share this broadcast, guys, because we're going to get into some really great social media tips, how to share your content, and a lot of stuff that we talked about yesterday, right? So let's give them a little preview of our expertise over here. So, so what was your favorite tip yesterday?
I think on yesterday when we talked through the focus piece, I think more than anything, whether it's technology or whether it is business in general, the focus piece was key. And I think what we talked about throughout the 8 steps that we talked about on yesterday, everything always came back to focus.
Yes.
And getting hyper focused on what we needed to do, and then executing it before we jumped into
another thing.
Yep.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about that yesterday, where if you go with your strength, right? So if you're a good writer and you choose to blog, or if you're a good talker and you're choosing to do Facebook Lives, get really good at and learn everything you can about that one medium.
That one medium.
What's your favorite?
Before you move on.
What's your favorite?
Right now, I think my favorite from a business to consumer standpoint is Instagram. But business to business, my all-time favorite is LinkedIn. And I live and die on LinkedIn.
Do you? I'm just starting to get more active on LinkedIn, and my Instagram, your Instagram is crazy. Mine is in my name. Yours is in your name. You have a huge following last I looked. I'm only at like 5,000 and I'm trying to grow it, but I don't spend enough time on it. And
that's taken time, and that has gotten to a place where we talked about on yesterday, where I was doing it myself at first, and then I said, okay, that's enough of this.
Yeah.
I brought people in, because it does take a lot of time. I have people that are specifically focused on Instagram, and that's all that they do for my company. Yes, LinkedIn. From a business to business standpoint for designers, because I know a lot of you all are looking to make relationships with real estate agents, builders, things of that nature. That place,
it's a gold mine.
Hottest place for connection. And why? Because I'm here to connect. I'm here to connect for business. So you don't have to warm me up. You don't have to stroke my ego. You don't have to do any of that. You can go straight for the ask as far as relationship is concerned, and people are open to it. And that is why LinkedIn is, if you can catch an active person on LinkedIn, they're there to connect just like you are. So
100%.
They're already warm. You don't have to warm them up. Heather says only 5,000. I'm at 1,000.
I worked really hard at that, Heather. But you know what? One of the things you said that I want to highlight is you don't have to butter them up. I remember when I started coaching, I did summits and I interviewed millions of people and I put it out there and it was good. You know what? It grew my list really not that much for the amount of effort I put in.
Right.
But one of the things I learned is you didn't have to go the whole, I've been watching you for the last year and I love what you do and blah, 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 blah. Literally, I would go, do you grant interviews? I'm putting together an interview series. Everybody's busy and nobody wants that whole butter up. And then that just kind of makes them feel like, really? No.
Get to the point. Like, what do you want?
Point, right?
Yep, what do you want?
And everyone is there to connect. So
they are.
The biggest thing about social media is it's social. It's supposed to be social. So yes, just like if you go to a party, you got to talk to people, or if you're going to a networking event, right? So
absolutely.
What's the best way to connect with people on LinkedIn?
Groups.
Groups
are great.
Just like Facebook.
Just like Facebook. It helps you. And listen, guys. Okay, so Facebook, I started off this whole social media thing with Facebook. And I love Facebook. Facebook still drives revenue to my business. It still drives traffic. I just find it easier from a business to business standpoint to get in those groups because there are thousands of business professionals in these groups already ready to go. What I find on Facebook is that we still have to do a little bit of that nurturing. You still have to do a little bit of relationship building, tell people where you found them, all that good stuff. But on LinkedIn, if you do that on LinkedIn, people are like, what is it already? Like,
right. Get to the point. I've gotten some really long messages on LinkedIn, you know, hey, I was looking at you. And I can't read it. I go right to the bottom and I just don't answer. And then a week later, I get another one. And you know, did you look at my stuff yet? And I'm like, okay, people, no.
I didn't.
I did not.
Get to what you want. And if you get to what you want, they'll respond. So groups, specific groups that are interest-based, just like Facebook, is a great way to find people on LinkedIn because it's the easiest way to do a search. Searching on LinkedIn is, you know, you got to have some technology behind you. You have to truly understand a person.
Right.
But if you can find a group of them that's just sitting in this one place, you can maneuver through that group and find as many people as you need.
100%. Oh, and I see Ben Perry's on. He is the organic marketing secrets guru. Do you know Ben Perry?
Yes, I've heard.
Oops, excuse me. Hi, Ben. I don't know if you're still on.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Yep, he does a lot with growing Facebook groups. His groups are so active. I think I'm in his organic marketing secrets group.
I have to get in Ben's group because I'm not a big Facebook grouper. I can be completely honest.
You're not in my group?
You know why? I am going to come to your group. And you know why? Because there's so many groups on Facebook that are not productive.
Yes.
That I just left. So I just can't deal.
We recently cleaned house too.
Right. And it's just, I'm looking for real activity, real conversation, real help, and where I can be of real help. So now that they are so popular again, I am open to the groups, even open to considering opening my private group to a public group to see how that works.
Oh, you should. So
I will join both of you all's groups.
Okay.
And do my best to activate myself before I take that leap.
I'm going to send you actionable entrepreneurs. That's us. And
yes.
You know what? I keep it really brief in there because I do find I called it actionable entrepreneurs for a reason. Everyone in there is working on growing their businesses. They're active.
Right.
There are a lot of interior designers in there. There are coaches in there, and they're not sitting by their computers all day long. So I try to do a 5-minute training every day, right? 5 to 8 minutes, and people come back and watch it. You know, I have a lot of lurkers in there, which I love because I know I'm helping them and they'll catch up with me at some point. What is John saying? I have found LinkedIn to be productive. Oh, good. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I definitely have to do more on LinkedIn. But like we were talking about, focusing on one thing, mastering it, you can then hire someone to take it over for you as long as you kind of have a feel for how to do it right yourself. So you're not just being sold the kitchen sink, right? Because I did that once. I hired someone to, you know, we'll just handle it all. And I hear all the time, my clients, well, I have a marketing person. They don't even know what their marketing person is doing.
Right. And they've paid big dollars. I work with some agencies, guys, that pay upwards of $30,000 a year for a marketing agency and don't see any return on that 30. And that boils my blood. And it's mostly because they don't know how to manage the agency. And that is something that you don't have to be an expert in marketing. Even from a digital standpoint, just get the basics. That's why I do so much coaching, because I want you to have the basics, because it will become a time where you have to bring that in. That's not what you should do. You're a designer, so you shouldn't be spending time in the science of marketing, but you should understand enough of it so that, like you said, they can't sell you the kitchen sink and you don't know that they've sold you. So you definitely want to know the basics so you can manage it if nothing else.
Right. And we talked a lot about how people are just listening and reading and training on so many different things, and it can get so overwhelming. And I get overwhelmed. I do what I tell my clients to do now. Write it on a piece of paper, and once you're done, not done, but once you've mastered this and it's easier for you at that point, then which is the next thing. And that's why I really haven't focused on LinkedIn, but I've got the Facebook thing down for the most part, right? I'm marketing well on Facebook. I'm attracting people. Instagram is working, and I do have some virtual assistants helping me there. And now it's time to kind of delve into LinkedIn. I'm even a little on Pinterest, but again, I have people doing that.
There too.
Yeah.
And you
takes
navigate
time.
it. And if you can learn Facebook, you can learn anything. I tell people that all the time. Most of the time, I do start people on Facebook because it's the most complicated platform to learn. And if you can learn Facebook, you can learn any of them, because they all model in some form something that's happening on Facebook. It may not be the exact same experience, and people may not interact the same, but the mechanics of it is very much similar to what's going on Facebook. So if you can master the big beast, doing anything else is going to come a little easier, because you've invested the time in understanding the more complicated of the tools that you can use. So that's why Instagram comes easy, because the part of Facebook that we loved in the very beginning is Instagram. That's what it is now. So it's easier to transition.
And it's funny, I have an extra phone here, and I planned on going Instagram live at the same time, but the other tripod I had kept falling, so I gave up on it. And I was thinking, I can broadcast in both places simultaneously. Like, I've seen people doing that, and I didn't buy it. We had an extra phone, and it's just for Instagram and only in my house on Wi-Fi, so I didn't have to pay for a service. But I thought, I can utilize this to do simultaneous broadcasts, which really brings me to my favorite part of yesterday. And one of my favorite things to teach is the content reuse. We talked a lot about that yesterday.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And when you were talking about broadcasting at the same time, you do that if you can focus. Sometimes I do it, and sometimes I just don't have the focus to pay attention to it, so I don't worry. So live broadcasting, I will always tell you, I live broadcast on Facebook, and I repurpose that content to Instagram, because I can do so much more with my live broadcast on Facebook. And not only am I looking for live interaction, I want things to happen once the broadcast is over. And while I love Instagram, it's limited on what I can do with my live broadcast. The broadcast is still only there for 24 hours. We don't have the landscape ability. It's only present in your stories. So if no one's going through your stories, they're not going to see it. You can't run paid advertising. You can't embed it in your blog. There's just too many limitations. But with Facebook, it's very easy to turn that content into something else, like we were talking about on yesterday. So repurposing is so much easier. And then when you understand online advertising, to turn your videos into ads that work for you when you don't have to be present at all, is so much easier to do on Facebook than what you can do on Instagram. So from a live video standpoint, I will go live on Instagram. It's a lot more personal in nature, and that's a relationship tool. That's a tool to build relationships so people can see me, so that they're willing and open to hearing from me. When I say go live on Facebook, they're willing to take the step from Instagram to Facebook to come and join me on my broadcast.
Okay. And I see Heather uses if this, then that.
Yes.
I've used that in the past too. I think I still have a couple of formulas set up in there. For those of you who don't know what that is, they have an incredible amount of things, like every time I go live on Facebook, automatically broadcast it or post it to here. used that for a long time. I'm not sure exactly why I got out of it, because I think because I always want to put special descriptions with everything. And I saw what you did yesterday, and you had a cover picture for our webinar, and you put words. And did you do that in Canva?
I did.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I got to do that. See, we all learn from each other. Well, I take this broadcast, my weekend wind down, every week, and I think I'm up to 17 or 18 of them now, which I counted the other day. I was like, wow. And it gets downloaded to my computer, uploaded to my website, uploaded to YouTube, and then turned into an MP4. And it's kind of a Podbean podcast. Also, it doesn't have an intro and an outro like an official podcast, but it's out there for people when they don't want to watch me. They can just go listen to me. And then I share everywhere with the share, right? Same as a blog. Share it on Google Plus, share it on LinkedIn, share it. I share it everywhere. Yep.
Share it everywhere. Sharing is caring, and you get so much traffic. From just that one piece of content that took you an hour to do. And then you can go on with life, being a designer and being a coach and doing other things until it's time to do it again. And then you repeat the process, and now you've got content for another week, and all you spent was an hour in creation. I love it.
I love it too. And I remember that people used to say to me, well, is that okay? Because what if I'm posting the same thing on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn? And the bottom line is, rarely is someone going to see, the one person is going to see, even if they follow you everywhere, they're not going to be on the computer exactly at the same time looking at these things fly by and get trumped over and over again. Oh, I shouldn't use that term. Can't believe I just said that. Okay, no politics on my show, because they'll get me. Boy, would I have I don't know. I'd have some haters if I started talking politics. Talk about polarizing. I did it once, and whoo, my Facebook exploded. But anyway, the feed goes fast is my point. And they're not seeing, right? They're not seeing that you're posting the same stuff. You're actually hitting different people.
Right.
Right?
And if they're not following you, if they hadn't got the notification that you posted it, especially on Facebook, on our business pages, we're trying to do business on our business pages. Nancy, it is hard to get that content in front of every follower that follows you. Yeah. So you have to give people another opportunity to connect with you. And so what is to say? Who cares? There's going to be supporting content that will differ, that you'll post maybe on Instagram that you won't post on Facebook. But for that one piece of content, it goes everywhere.
Yes.
It goes everywhere because the message is consistent. It's the same.
Now, I think you might disagree with me on this one a little bit, so be honest. But I use my personal Facebook page as well to grow. That's why when you went to friend me and you're like, you don't have any more friends, I'm up to 5,000. Because the personal page is where people get to know me. And I live and breathe my business, as a lot of solopreneurs do. So I want to share on my personal page. I do also post on my business page, and I will post different things, or I will share from one page to another. But I find that I'm making a lot more relationships on my personal page. If I have an actual offer, that goes on my business page.
Right. And technically, you are not supposed to do anything business related on your personal page. It's against Facebook policy.
Well, if you actually make an offer, but if I'm just like this, I mean, we're doing a weekend wind down. This has to go off. Right. It's just conversation. Right.
This is just conversation. But when you get to a point where you have reached your friend max, which you are at your friend max, at that point, it is time to transition your business to your business profile. Public figure, there's nothing that says you can't be personal on your business page. I am very personal on my business page. I choose not to use my personal page on Facebook because I don't want to manage 2 pages on Facebook. And what I would do with my personal page on Facebook, I do personally on Instagram. So for me, it's just easier to manage but it is time to transition, and it doesn't require more work. Yes. Will it require the use of other tools that Facebook gives you? Yes. What I love about the business pages with Facebook is the ability to I'm a marketer, so it's all analytics, you know.
Yes, I do check my analytics, and I'll share this link
to your business page,
and I'll boost it once in a while. So like last week, by the time we got off, it was over 600 views from last week's weekend wind down. So I threw $10 behind it and I boosted it. So I'm up over 1,200 now. Right. So, but that's coming from my business page, because you can't do that on your personal page.
You can't do that on your personal page. And that's the limitation. And that's the part where I'm like, well, let me do it where I can do it. And if I have to throw some coins behind it to get it there, then that's just the cost of doing business. But I still make relationships. I don't post on my personal page, but I will still use my personal page to message and create relationships. So I don't use it for publication, but I do use it as a tool to build relationships. Mm-hmm. You can't be in groups with your business page. You have to be in a group with your personal page.
Correct.
So you have to use your personal page in some form or fashion to build your business. I just choose to use the messaging function of my personal page to drive people to where I want them to go. And that's either going to be my Facebook business page, or most cases my Instagram, because that's where I build the community.
And I use my personal page to be able to do these Facebook Lives and to create relationships. And then I do ask them to like my business page, and my business page has steady posts, but it really does have less visibility. It has
less engagement.
It definitely has
less engagement. And that's the double-edged sword, which is why I said Instagram is where I like to hang out.
What do you have on Instagram? Like 15,000? 20, 30?
When I checked it today, when we looked at stats today, I think we were at 16.2K, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's work. I've been building that page now for probably 2 years.
That's great in 2 years, though.
It doesn't happen, but it was focused. Like yesterday when we talked about nothing else, like we put Facebook on hold, we put Twitter on hold, we put everything on hold to see what Instagram could do. And that's why we see what we see from Instagram, because it was primary, and it took precedent over everything else.
And that's really the way you have to do it. I know my 22-year-old is building an Instagram following, fashion and travel combo page. And I think she's probably up to about 1,200 followers, but she's already getting product.
Thank you, Heather.
Oh, just like your business page. Yay. She's already getting products sent to her and being asked to promote. Yep. She's got a beautiful, but again, at 1,100 followers, she started getting reach outs from companies to send her designer watches and sunglasses, and because she does a beautiful feed, and she's building great relationships. When I see that level of following, and she has 250, 300 likes and tons of comments, I'm like, she's building it right.
It's
and she's
relationship.
It is. And she's really doing well with building the relationships. And she said, she's a full-time student and she works a lot of hours, and she's like, all the rest of my time I'm on Instagram. I
spend on Instagram. And Instagram is the place where things can be pretty. You know, I like pretty stuff, so it allows me, it's really therapy for me, because I do create the content. So I have them to schedule and post, but from a graphic standpoint and from an aesthetic standpoint, I kind of put the layout in place. And if they do put the layout in place, I'll go in and edit what I want and replace what I want. So it's therapy for me, which is why it makes it so easy, because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it as much.
So
it was a bit of torture.
You enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to do what you enjoy. On Facebook, you can do the same thing, but it doesn't look the same. You don't get the grid format. You don't get that. And for me, that's what draws me to brands. And that's what I use to draw brands into my business.
So if someone's trying to grow their Instagram, what would be your best tips for if they could spend some time on it?
Don't worry as much about content as you do engagement. So we've grown because we engage. We are actively out seeking people that would be great prospects for our company, and we engage them. So we like posts, we comment on posts, we build conversations, we reply to conversations, we send DMs, we use the direct messaging feature like crazy. We're there. But we're the type of Instagrammer that we want the Instagrammers to be for us. So we're not waiting. We're not waiting on people to come find us. We're going to find them.
Yeah, that really is.
Them to us.
That really is the best way. When I was building it more actively to even get to the 5,000, I was doing exactly that. I was spending down, and you know what? I don't know if a lot of people know this. You can do that socializing, liking and commenting from your computer, guys. You don't always have to be on your phone, and a lot of people don't know that.
On your phone. Yep, you don't always have to be on your phone. And if Instagram is going to be the primary tool, then invest in the tools that help you manage Instagram.
Yes.
So Iconosquare, get it, use it. That's where most of this engagement is happening, because I have attention problems. If I see something, I will go down a rabbit hole quickly. Quickly. And the computer helps me to avoid those things.
Yes.
So I have my team log in, and they do everything from their computers. It keeps them focused. But we have goals. We have numbers that we're looking to meet. We have reports every week that we're pulling. And we use the tools that support our goals for Instagram.
And when it comes to the DMing, though, are you doing that, or they're starting the initial conversation and then you're picking it up from there?
They start it, and then I pick it up from there.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I do that on a little bit on Facebook too, depending on how busy I am. I do a lot, mostly my own socializing, but sometimes in groups, they'll do a quick share in a group, and then if someone replies, then I'm always the one to take it over by then. And these are people who've worked for me for a long time. They've worked with me in my other business, so they know me, they know my voice. But working from your computer is so much easier.
So much easier.
Oh my God.
It's so much easier, guys. Sometimes on the weekends, I have do not disturb on, and I have specific contacts that I allow in on my phone so that if they call, I'll get it.
Right.
But elsewise, I turn everything off, because I don't want to see Facebook notifications. I don't want to see Instagram notifications. I don't want to deal with that stuff when it's family time. But even then, if I just pull up my laptop, it's so much easier to manage it from there than it is for me to see. I mean, you're limited in what you can do from your phone.
Absolutely. It's just quicker.
It's quicker. It's so much quicker.
You go down the feed, you're like, oh, I like that, make a comment, I can relate, right? You just can go down somebody's feed, go down your home feed so fast.
So fast.
Search, follow, all kinds. Yeah, Eileen's saying also Hootsuite. Yes, I actually use Hootsuite as well, Eileen. And Eileen said somebody reached out to her via Facebook post asking her to give EFT training in Asheville.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
So it works.
Girl.
Yeah, it really works. Eileen and I are going to have a conversation this coming week, I think. She's going to be one of my guests on the Weekend Wind Down one day.
I love it. Eileen, are you using Hootsuite for research as well? Because I have Hootsuite as well. And Hootsuite, from an Instagram standpoint, is great for research. And if you haven't used it for research, let me know. I can do something live and kind of show you how that whole Instagram Hootsuite works from a research standpoint. But it's amazing to do actual engagement and research for Instagram.
Oh, let me know when you're doing that. I'll share that, because I think that's really key. We do some research on Hootsuite, but again, I'm not focusing as much on my Instagram lately. I'm doing more of the Facebook thing.
Even with Facebook, you can do it.
On Hootsuite. Yeah, we do some research on Facebook, but I think I'm maxed out on Facebook in some ways with what I'm doing time-wise, like for me. Now I definitely want to move on to the next thing.
To the next.
Yeah, I want to go a little bit more on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'll do some LinkedIn training too. I'm open. Like, I love LinkedIn. There's so many things that you can do from LinkedIn, and it's simple. Like it's not hard. You just have to know how to maneuver through the platform.
Yes.
So we can do some training on LinkedIn too. I love it.
We're going to schedule that.
LinkedIn. Okay,
We're
can
going
do
to
that.
schedule that. And you know what I want to do too? I'm starting a group for interior designers. It's called the Sales and Leadership Academy, and it starts in March. So if anyone needs, has been looking for coaching and you've been on the fence, I want to get some experts like you to do some very specific trainings, but short, something they can absorb, and we all can absorb. Quickly. Yeah, and actually put it in my membership site and give you guys links back to the experts. This way, the people who are in my group training and who do my one-on-one training will have a little extra special something from all the experts that I know. And this way, you guys get exposure too. Something you'd be interested in?
Love it. And you know what? I know this is totally off subject, but I have a client that I work with. Her name is Sherry Million out of Spring, Texas, with Terra Vista Interiors. And she and I have been working on some marketing stuff. And she listens to Luann's podcast, and she did I sent her to your show to listen to
Your Business in Words. Yeah, Your Business in Words.
Your Business in Words. And she went to a networking event. I said, you have to use it, because if you use it, it will show you that it can work. Went to a networking event. They were having a competition, and she did it in the competition and got the trophy for the competition. And she
Wait a minute.
Let you know.
Oh my God. Tell her to reach out to me. That's a fabulous testimonial. I want her to jump in my group.
So excited. So I'll connect the two of you. I told her that I would connect the two of you so that you guys could introduce. But she was
made
so
my
excited.
Day, Kay. Really, because I've done that. I did a huge Ivy mock webinar. It was about 297 people opted in for it. 500 and something, maybe up to 600 now registered. And it was that exercise. And it really does register. I've done it for...
It does.
I don't know. I came up with it years ago because... if I say to somebody when I was only an art consultant and not coaching, I'm an art consultant, they'd go, oh, like no idea what that was. So I was like, okay, I need to come up with a way to show some personality, tell them who I serve, how my services are actually administered, and so they can imagine working with me, and then tell them how exciting it is. So when I became a coach, it was the same thing, right? If you just said, I'm a marketing strategist, every time you're at a networking event, people apply whatever knowledge they have of that. Right. So I'm so happy to hear that. That's on my website, guys. So if you're watching this, Your Business in Words, free exercise. It's under my resources page. That's my free thing. So, connect her with me. I would love to hear about that.
I'll put the two of you together.
Tell her to take a picture of the award.
She did. I think it's on her Instagram, so I'll make sure she sends it
Oh my God, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It's 5:31. We went a minute or two over, but I love having you on, and I know we're going to do more in the future. I love you.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a blast. Just let me know what you need, and we can work it out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Kay. Just let them know one more time where to find you.
You can find me. Best place to go is to connect with me on my website, kwhitaker.com. And from there, you'll see the blog. You'll see all of the social links where you can connect with me. If you can't remember how to spell it, it's KAEWHITAKER.com, and I'll leave it in the comments after the show.
Perfect. That's what I was just going to tell you to do. Make sure you leave your website there. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. I'm Nancy Ganzikoffer, business coach to creative entrepreneurs. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. And if you want to be a guest, private message me, and we'll get you on one Friday night. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.